Oh, I was just sitting here longingly looking at Ramona. I mean, maybe Hunter. I don't know. What's that look for, Ramona?
Why don't we just start out creepy? Let's just make it creepy from the very beginning.
Like the Bachelor show, I like to come out of the gate strong and let everybody know what the character is going to be during the course of this reality show. Ramona, fire away. Set up our fine guest.
She is one of the most famous single ladies in the Queen City. Why? Because she recently appeared on Clayton's season of The Bachelor. Her name is Hunter, and she joins us now. Hi, Hunter. So good to have you.
Hi. Thank you so much for having me.
I apologize in advance for Matt making it appear that all he was doing was going,
My tongue was in my mouth. Thank you very much.
This time.
I was
Hunter,
just checking out her background. That's all. So when your famous thing is that you arrived on scene on The Bachelor with a snake.
Correct. Yes.
Why?
Yeah, that come into play.
Okay, so my initial plan was actually to come in with a crocodile. I'll tell you why. So I wanted to do a play off of my name, with my name being Hunter.
Oh, Crocodile Hunter.
Crocodile Hunter.
Okay.
And apparently California just doesn't have crocodiles that I can bring out. I wanted like a baby one, obviously not a full-size one.
Because that makes a difference.
It makes a big difference there. And so they were like, I don't know about a crocodile. I was like, what if we do a snake? What if we do some sort of reptile? And then I was able to get my hands on a python. So it kind of worked out. I've always been really comfortable with reptiles and just all animals in general. I don't really know why.
But I don't feel like it worked out because we didn't know the whole, crocodile hunter things. You just look like Snake Girl.
I know. I just looked like a crazy reptile lady, which is fine. I think reptile ladies are wonderful.
Do you think that hurt or helped early on?
I feel like I didn't fully think through the entire experience, because it's not like you just get to the mansion, you're like, oh, here's my snake. Here can be, what a lot of people were thinking it's like a Britney Spears moment.
Right.
You get there and you have this python on you, and then you keep the python on you all night. I went up to Clayton for the first time with a python around my neck. And I'm like, oh, wow, this is going to be fantastic, because he's going to be like, why am I talking to this woman that has a snake wrapped around her neck? And of course, the snake's name was Priscilla.
And you lean in and say, the producers are making me do this.
No, it was all me. That was all me.
Oh.
How long?
Like, okay, so didn't think about this fully through, but I do think, maybe it sparked some interest on his behalf.
Okay.
Maybe he was thinking, oh, like, she's pretty cool. Like, she can carry a snake. She's adventurous.
Right.
I don't know.
Okay. And you're memorable.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Memorable. I don't know if for better or for worse, but I did get a rose. So
yes.
Did you?
How long does it take to shoot that whole sequence of all the women coming in and all that?
Yeah. So as you can imagine, it's a pretty lengthy process just because there are 30 of us. So of course, everybody has their entrances, and then you see just snippets of different conversations. But of course, there are a lot more conversations that happen throughout the duration of the night. I know a lot of people joke that they can tell that it's daytime by the end of the rose ceremony. So it's a pretty lengthy process, but it's exciting. Your adrenaline's going the whole time. So you're not really thinking about what time it is too much, which is good.
Mm-hmm. Now, did you feel an instant connection with him?
I'm not going to lie. I was a little distracted because the python was in between us.
How many times have I heard that before?
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Stop being a weirdo.
What?
Stop being a weirdo.
Maybe I need to think about my wording a little bit better. But even with that happening, I was a little distracted, but I did feel like we connected pretty easily. We had a lot of common themes between our lives and situations. He had shared that he had been single for 5 years. I've also been single for 5 years. We're both very family oriented. So we connected on some pretty, I guess you would say, important stuff for like the first time meeting somebody right off the bat, but it was a little bit strange, I guess you could say, with the snake being there, but it worked out.
Okay, he totally came off as a total horn dog, okay? Just like one of the horniest bachelors we've seen since Bob early on. I mean, seriously, how many women in the house do you think he actually hooked up with?
Oh my gosh, I actually don't know. The good thing about it is, you make friends with all of these women, and the last thing you want to do is talk about any type of relations you have. And now, of course, any type of extreme intimate things wouldn't happen until way, way later. So it wouldn't be a situation where it was, multiple girls in the house. But as far as, even, kissing goes, like you wouldn't really go and share with your friends who are also dating the same man.
I forgot.
That is so weird.
Made out with Clayton, like you wouldn't really do that because you want to be respectful of the other girls in the house.
Well, the girl who does that is the villain of the season. What did you really think of the villain of the season, Shanae?
Shanae. Okay. I feel like it is a sense of, you get what you see. It's all very real, of course. Is
it? I mean, she was so over the top.
She was. Really I will give her that in the house, I was not seeing her interviews. I was seeing a softer side of Shanae. And I was actually somebody who really was trying to include her throughout the period of the show. And one of those times being when we were on the football date, we actually had a really good moment with Shanae. And she was just very open and vulnerable. And we saw this like very sensitive side of her. Now, of course, fast forward a couple hours, she's crashing the date of the winners and throwing a trophy in the pond. So it was just, there was this one side of Shanae that was, somebody I could definitely see myself getting along with. But then you see this other side of her that was just, taking time away from you with Clayton and, having these cocktail parties canceled. And so it was just one of those things that I feel like the feelings of being upset with her came after watching everything back and seeing, okay, so that's how she really felt about us and about the girls in the house, because she wasn't really translating that to our faces.
Okay, so tell me, how do you feel about how you were portrayed?
Yeah, so I feel like I was portrayed very accurately. Of course, you say what you say. And if you're being, trying to stay out of any type of drama, then you're not really going to be, I guess how people say, portrayed in a negative light.
Right.
However, I really do believe that at the end of the day, if you say the things that could be portrayed, I mean, there might be some loophole. I don't really know. I don't know enough about anything, basically, but I know nothing. But I will say that I feel like everybody had a very accurate depiction of who they are. The girls who were shining and were so wonderful and kind were, those girls who you saw, like Teddy. Teddy is a gem of a human, and you saw that on TV as well. So.
Okay, so the big question always in Bachelor Nation, will we see you in paradise?
I don't know. We will see.
Are you interested in doing something like that? One of the Bachelor spinoffs?
Yeah, I would absolutely be interested for sure. I went on The Bachelor to try to, find my person and get engaged, and that did not work for me this time. I would definitely be open to it in the future for sure. definitely
So
be kind about that.
are you ruling out dating guys around here? Because where do you live now? What city?
I live in Charlotte. I'm in South End.
Okay. South End is teeming
Hopping.
with
It's happened.
with hot young bankers.
Yeah. I was just talking about this the other day. I feel like a lot of people who are close to my age are already married.
Okay.
Because living in the South, people get married pretty easily. And I'm not, putting a blanket statement over everybody. But I will say that is a common theme that I've, discovered while living here. But of course, I'm not opposed to dating.
How old are you?
Anybody. I'm 29.
So at 29, you feel old maid by Southern standards? That's so sad.
That makes it sound bad. No, well, a little bit. Yeah.
Do guys constantly approach you, or are they intimidated?
I don't really know, but I will say I'm not approached very often.
Really?
Don't, Matt, don't try.
I got a, do I still have a wife? Anyway, that is really surprising. Do people, how often are you recognized by women or men, anybody? Like, how often does that happen?
I wouldn't say it's super often, but it has been happening at least consistently. So I had somebody this past Saturday say, "You look like Hunter from The Bachelor," and I was like, "That's me. That's who I am." So just a couple times a weekend, and that's really when I'm out venturing. And during the week, I work and I don't leave my home. So
now, if you walked around with a python around your neck, people would be.
They would definitely know.
They'd be like, "Oh yeah, that's the girl right there."
One final question: where does Hunter hang? Like, where are the spots you like to go in and around the Queen City?
Ooh, okay. So I love hopping for brewery type style place.
Mhm.
I love Slingshot. I somehow end up there every weekend. Where else do I hang? I love going to brunch, and Suffolk Punch is one of those places that I find myself a lot. In Superica. Oh my gosh. I could keep naming this. This is like the thing that I do. I love going to brunch and I love going to breweries. So
brunch and breweries. You're like the perfect chick.
Brunch and breweries. But now I started working out. So now I find myself at the gym. Sometimes I go to West Kept Secret. So I'm trying to keep myself busy and not only brunching.
Well, it's been great.
It's been so much fun talking to you. And early on, I apologize for Matt being a weirdo. You got to see him doing all of his weirdo things, taking himself off camera accidentally and then coming back weirdly. You got to see the whole range of his weirdo. So thank you for your patience.
You did not see the whole range. I have more range than that.
He's like, let me prove you wrong.
Yes.
If people want to continue to follow you, how can they find you on your socials?
Yeah, so my Instagram is at Hunter C. Haag, and it's not Haag. A lot of people think my last name is pronounced Haag, but it is Haag. I'm also on TikTok. I don't know my username on there, but if you search my name, you can find it. Same with Twitter, and that's really all.
Thanks
again. Keep us updated with your life.
Absolutely, I sure will.
Not weird at all.
Get out of here. Thank you so much.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye.